Hey guys, what's going on? It's your girl Tally back again.
The content to y'all.
Just want to share a brief message with you all for sure. And my message to you guys all is I need you to understand that it takes work. To stay in alignment, to stay focused, to stay on your path, your journey, it takes work. And this is what a lot of people don't understand, or they don't believe. They feel like they can just live life any kind of way and then expect that they'll have a peaceful, comfortable, joyful life. And unfortunately, that's not how the world works, especially if you're a Christian. It's definitely not how your world is going to work, because as a Christian, you know, the Bible says that we're expected, I'm paraphrasing here, but we're expected to have it hard. Things are expected to be hard for us just based on what we believe. If you actually believe it and you're actually practicing what you believe and you're not compromising with the world, just based on that, you're gonna have it tough. You're gonna be ostracized. You're gonna be what is that? I'm forgetting the word. You're gonna be, I tell this guy at my job all the time, because I feel like that's what he does to me. But you're gonna be persecuted. That's the word. I'm like, you stop persecuting me. So you're gonna be persecuted. You're gonna be ostracized. You're going to be rejected. You're gonna be talked about. Everything. Things are gonna happen to you just because of Jesus in your life. So we know life is not easy for us, especially for the Christians. So with that being said, it takes work to stay in alignment with, and the alignment that brings peace and joy into your life. Because regardless of what we go through, the Bible tells us we're supposed to have a peace that surpasses all understanding. So that means no matter what happens in your life, no matter what chaos, we're gonna have peace about it. That's one of the promises of God. Another thing is the joy of the Lord is your strength. So now you find joy in the Lord, you get strength. You feel me? So no matter what's going on around you, you have the joy of the Lord. That's going to be your strength to get through the hard times. But what people don't understand is living your life any kind of way it doesn't facilitate that peace and that joy. There's a way that you have to set up your life. And that setup is going to have, I'll just get straight to the point. It's going to have standards, it's going to have boundaries, and it's going to have discipline. And you have to discipline your life in such a way that your lifestyle promotes having peace, having joy. Because I think people think that you don't have to do anything for it. And that is not completely true. And I'm seeing that through my experience. I'm seeing that is not completely true. Yes, peace and joy are free. And I said this before. Yes, peace and joy are free. All right, but you can't, hold on. I said that wrong. Yes, peace and joy, you can't buy it, but it's not free. That's what I mean. You can buy peace and joy, but it's not free. You can't buy it, but it's not free. And when I say it's not free, I mean, I don't mean that you have to purchase it with some kind of currency. No, you can't purchase it. You can't buy it. But you absolutely have to set standards and boundaries in your life and have a discipline in your life in order to maintain that peace and joy. If you don't have boundaries, anything comes in, everything goes out, anything is allowed into your life. You don't have things that you set apart and you say, no, this is not for me. This kind of person, this kind of behavior, this kind of thing, this kind of place. You know, if you don't have that saying like, that's not for me, you're going to invite unpeaceful things into your life. You're going to invite things that are going to take away your peace. And when it takes away your peace, it's definitely going to take away your joy. If you don't have a standard, so even if you indulge in that thing, that person, that place or thing, if you don't have a standard for how you want to be treated, basically, a standard for this thing in your life, a purpose. So this thing, what purpose does it have in my life? What standard does it uphold in my life? Why is it in my life? What's the purpose of this? What standard does it uphold? If you don't have that in your life, then wherever you go, the things that you give your time and energy to, the people you give your time and energy to, it's going to rob you of your peace and joy. Next thing, if you don't have discipline, which means the non-negotiable things that you do every day to invest in your mental health, spiritual health, physical health, financial health, all of those different kind of things. If you don't have these set up in your life, then it's going to be chaotic for you. Once again, it's going to steal your peace and your joy, and you're not going to have a foundation of how you invest in yourself, aka how you show yourself self-love, self-respect, how you honor yourself. You're not going to have those foundations built. So when you're lacking in your standards, you're lacking in your boundaries, anything comes in, anything comes out, it could come in and out any kind of way. You don't have anything to refill yourself, to fill yourself up, to reiterate that message to yourself that you're worthy, you're valuable. If you don't have that, then your life is going to be an easy place where peace and joy can be stolen from you. And that's what I mean when I say that it cannot be bought, but it's not free. When I say it's not free, again, I'm saying that you can't buy it with currency, but you have to buy it with the way you live your life. You have to set up your life in a way that facilitates, that maintains peace and joy. So you have to have boundaries for what can come in, what can come out, what you do and don't allow. You have to have a standard, like for whatever's in your life, it has to be of value. It has to have a standard on it. If it falls below your standards of what you feel is right for you, you have to be willing to part ways with it. If not, it's going to be an issue for you. And you have to have disciplines, which is ways that you pour back into yourself. These disciplines could be journaling, gym, pouring into your purpose, whatever it is, your eating regimen, your diet, how much you read the word, how much you read the Bible, everything that you do that invests in your mental, physical, spirit, financial health. Your financial health. These are the things that are your daily disciplines. And I'm not saying, what I'm saying is some days require more than others. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, on Sunday it required a lot. Maybe because for the last 2 weekends I was out of town. 2 weeks ago I was in South Carolina. I did an 8-hour drive, 8 hours. I did a 12-hour, 14-hour drive there, because I did a couple stops, and a 10-hour drive back. So I spent 24 hours on the road 2 weeks ago. Came back, quick turnaround. The next weekend I was in New York with my family, with my extended family, my grandma. Haven't seen them in years. So you know what kind of, feelings go with that. When you're seeing family you haven't seen in years, there's a little stress that comes with that. So it's quite possible that I definitely needed a mental health recharge, a spiritual recharge and reset after 2 weeks basically on the road, quick turnaround on the road. And I felt that in me on Sunday. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I worked out. I ended up working out 3 times. Not only did I run so many errands and hit all the marks that I needed to do to help me on that Saturday. Mind you, that Saturday before, I ran so many errands, like self-care. I went to go get my nails done. I had 2 blazers that I've been needing to tailor for a long time. Went to go get a fitting and drop that off. I did so much, right? So again, I'm not refilling myself after 2 weeks on the road and my first weekend back. And then that Sunday, I just felt that strong prompting. You need to focus on you. You need to pour into you, your mental health. First thing I do, I make that bed. I can't tell you exactly how making your bed in the morning affects your mental health. Having a clean space, period. If you feel an attack on your mental, spiritual health, the first thing you need to do after you pray about it, after you declare some words in the atmosphere, baby, I rebuke depression in Jesus' name. After you do that and more, and use the word of God, after you do that, clean your home. If you feel so like so much anxiety on your chest that you feel like you can't even clean the way you want to, because I know that's a thing, at least make your bed. There's some benefit that is hard for me to explain in making my bed, but I just remember years ago, 2016, when I really wanted a change in my life and I felt so stuck. The first thing I used to do, at that point I lived with my mom, so it wasn't my own place, but the first thing I used to do was make up my bed in the morning and make sure my room is clean. And that's when I started to want change. That's the first thing I used to do when I wanted change in my life. Make up my bed in the morning. Because there's something about environment, especially for me, but there's something about having a clean environment that is just the start, something to build on. It's a part of that foundation of you wanting to make changes in your life and overpower negative feelings. Make that bed. The next thing I did was I went on a 4-mile walk with my dog. You gotta get that exercise. Sometimes those feelings find you because you're too sedentary. You're sitting in one place. You're not exercising, which is not healthy for you. So you make yourself a good breeding ground for negativity because you're too much idle time. You're not doing enough with yourself. And you're not exercising, and exercising is so healthy. Exercising is good for your spirit, but it's also good. It's good for your physical body, but it's also good for that spirit. It's good for your health, your insides. Come on, your insides. People probably don't listen to anybody trying to say that exercise is just physical, because it's good for your insides, your little organs, your little inside your body that you can't see. So if you get your insides working right in a healthy place, automatically your mental health is going to be in a better place. So I took the dog on a 4-mile walk, long in the hot sun on a Sunday morning, but I did it because I knew the effect that it would have on my mental health. Next thing I did, I went to the gym directly after. You guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but I had to do what I had to do to refuel and to refill myself. I had to do what my body was asking me to do, because at the end of the day, this is a fight. This is spiritual warfare, and you have to have your weapons to overcome it. After you finish praying, which is your first weapon, and declaring what you need to declare through prayer, you have to use all your weapons that God has provided for you. Your next weapon, that's faith. That's faith with works, because the Bible already tells us faith without works is dead. So you pray, you already have that faith, whatever it is, a mustard seed, whatever it is. But now it's time to put your work. It's time to match your works with your faith. So that's that walk I did. The walk I did a walk. It was mostly silent. The walk. I did turn on music at the end, but I didn't have my headphones in because I wanted to feel how I was feeling. I wanted to talk to God on the walk a little bit. So I did a walk, kind of solo, no headphones for music for like the most of the walk, maybe like the first 3 miles, and only at the end I just started playing a little music to get me through the rest. After that, I went to the gym and I did leg day. That was a very good leg day. All right, lifted heavy. I like lifting heavy. I like a challenging workout when I lift weights. I like challenging weight. Again, that's that fight. That's that fight. That's that mental, that physical fight that helps you spiritually. Next thing, after I did that, I went to church. Now I was like, how am I gonna make it to church? I just did this long walk. I did this long behind walk, and church is almost about to start. The last service is at 12:30. It's about 10 o'clock right now, but I'm gonna go to the gym because I need to go to the gym. But hopefully I get out of the gym early enough to go to church, and I just felt this strong pull to go to church again. But I was about to skip it, but then I felt a strong pull to go to church. So there you go. I get out of the gym 11:30. Church is at 12:30. I get home really with a 15-minute turnaround time. I hop in the shower, throw literally anything at me. I think I just threw a baseball cap on my head and some sweats, and I took my behind to church. In this church, people don't be trying to dress out, show out. You know what I'm saying? It's not that type of church. So it wasn't bad for me to wear some Nike sweatpants. And I made it to church, and I needed that. Again, the message hit after church, feeding my spirit. When the worship, y'all, I love to worship. Worship is like my favorite thing. So first, that worship really hit. Just acknowledging God. You just acknowledging God. I can't tell you again the wonders it works for your spiritual, mental health. You just acknowledging that God is who He is, that He is great, He is awesome, He is mighty. So that worship, and that worship, again, you're declaring things with your mouth, because if you're following along, you're singing the song, and the song is saying something, you're declaring that with your mouth. So again, pouring into my mental health, reaffirming who I am, but reaffirming really who God is, which is actually reaffirming who I am too. Perfect. 5 stars. Perfecto. Next, I get out of church. Straight to the market, because it's Sunday and I got a meal prep, so I could make sure that I'm eating healthy for this week. Because if I'm under attack and I feel like a spiritual attack, and that attack is trying to make me feel negative feelings, lonely, depression, insecure, whatever it is, then again, I got to make sure whatever is going into my body, again, is the right healthy things, because these are all my tools to set boundaries against those kind of feelings. These are all my tools to create a foundation, all the tools that create discipline around my life and my lifestyle. This is what I practice. I practice a healthy lifestyle. My lifestyle has a certain standard. All these things get put into play, and they must get put into play when you're up against these things, because those kind of feelings, and I believe they even spirit, they're gonna find any way to come in any open door in your life, any unhealthy place in your life. This is where it wants to attack, because those are your weak points. So when you're feeling these feelings, you have to begin solidifying different places in your life. You have to begin fortifying your mind mentally, spiritually, physically, whatever it is. Some of you guys probably like me, you overspend. Okay, those finances, they be a little funny, baby. When you get attacked like that attack may be, now you may be pushing, in order to get out of that feeling, it may move you to go somewhere and overspend. Like, I'm sure a lot of people, this is a time where they go invest in their vices. Now they go to brunch, or they go get a bottle. Some people, they smoke weed, they smoke whatever. This is what those feelings lead them to do. So every area that is unhealthy in your life, this is exactly where those things attack, because it wants you to act out in a way, whether that's overspending, getting drunk, getting high, sitting home feeling depressed, and you know how that progresses. This is what these feelings are trying to get you to do. Overeat. If you're like me, overeat. Go get you a big jar of ice cream, tub of ice cream, and eat the whole tub, or eat at least half of the tub, and eat 4,000 calories in one sitting, and ruin your weight journey process, your health journey, your weight loss journey process. No, we can't keep falling victim to these things over and over again. It has to be a time where you realize that this attack is here, or this attack is coming. So I have to fortify these things around me. I have to close every open door, every unhealthy door. I'm going to have to close them. For some of you, it could be that man or that woman that you know is not for you, and you know that God don't have them for you. Anything. But it doesn't stop there. Anything in your life, any person, place, and thing in your life that is unhealthy, when that attack comes, it's coming right through that door. So fortify your mind, fortify yourself, fortify your life against these things. And that Sunday, that's just the way I had to fortify my life and my mind, and it worked. I made my little meal prep, went to the market. I already planned to go to the market to buy my groceries for the next 2 weeks, so that was fine. Made my meal prep for the week, all my meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Well, just lunch and dinner because I make my own breakfast in the morning. After that, friend called me. She wanted to go jogging. I said, you know what? Can't hurt. Can't hurt. We went on a little 2-mile jog. It started raining, so it is what it is. So I ended up working out 3 times that Sunday. And I don't regret it. I was in a lot of pain the next day, but I don't regret it. Why? Because sometimes you need a little more. Sometimes it takes a little more to fortify yourself against that attack. And I did what I had to do, and of course that attack won't flee. When you do what you have to do, you fortify yourself so much, or you build yourself so much, that it has no way to settle onto you. It tried to find a way to settle. It tried the attack or those negative feelings. It tried to find a way into my life to settle somewhere, and it couldn't find it, because I immediately got up and I put my faith to work, sprang into action, and it could not find any place to settle on me. So it had no choice but to leave, but to go. And that's how I escaped it. Will those feelings be back? Of course they will. As long as I live this life, it will be back. But as long as I have my life, again, set up in a way where I know what to do when these feelings come. And do they come often? No, they actually don't. They don't come often. But as long as I have my tools and my faith in God, I can always overpower them. And I'm not going to get tired of overpowering them, because once I overpower them and I wake up and I realize, whoa, I got the victory over that. It feels good to get the victory every single time. No matter how much I have to fight, it's few and far in between, but no matter what, I get the victory, and the victory always feels good. And you thank God for another opportunity that you get to show Him that you're strong, you're being built up. All the work that you're doing in your life is actually working. That the work that you're putting in to become your better self, and to become a better person, and to become a better Christian, and to please the Lord, and to work in your purpose, and to have faith in God, all of it is actually working. That's what this proves to you. This is a good depiction, a good example of how the work really works when you really put it in. So that's what I got for you guys today. I'll see y'all soon. Trust me.